Hello and welcome to Realms Edge Gaming. We're going to take a look at the new model that has been released today as part of New Model Monday. As always, if you've not subscribed to the channel, if you could do so, that would be amazing. And I'd love to kind of get your opinion on Be'lakor. So if you could drop a comment below, tell me what you think. I'd love to get your perspective of this new model. So today we found out that Be'lakor was going to be the third book in the Broken Realms narrative. Last week we had Kritza the Rat Prince, and today we had a look at the actual model of Be'lakor. Because yesterday for Sunday they kind of showed us the silhouette, so there was kind of no prizes for guessing that we were going to get the whole model today. So this is what he looks like, and he looks amazing. I really like the stylization that they've gone for. They've got a really interesting kind of, I guess, pose. The rock almost looks like a hand holding him as he's kind of in the palm of it. I really like the kind of detailing on the base as well. We've got the Chaos Warrior that's kind of slain there. The kind of magical fire with the iridescent blue and purple. And the kind of scale of it surprised me the most. It's actually a bigger model than I imagined. The previous Be'lakor model was nowhere near this big. Yeah, I think they've really done a cracking job on it. Really good detailing, lots of kind of textures. We've got rock, we've got cloth, we've got metal, we've got skull, there's horn, it's just like a painter's dream really. And I actually think the way it's been painted has been done, really tastefully as well. They've got a lot of restraint with that one. It's quite monochromatic, the palette that they've chosen. I guess very befitting of the God of Shadow, or one of them. Looking at you, Malarian. Hopefully he'll make an appearance soon. But yeah, I think they've done a cracking job. I really like the detailing with the skulls and the chains. And there's actually one or two rumour engines that I can see here. So for example, the actual wing membrane. I think it's one of these where you could see the link, and there was a skull and the chain, and then there was another one with the tail and the rock with that kind of spike through it. Both of which I incorrectly predicted as being part of the Vampire Coast. But you know what? It was a guess at the time. We'll have to wait and see if they ever do materialise. So let's have a read of the text and see what they've got to say about Be'lakor. It says, he's the Dark Master, the mysterious Shadow Lord of Mordheim, and he's the first true servant of the Dark Gods and the original Demon Prince of Chaos Undivided. His fell deeds have shaped mankind's history and subjected the mortal realms to the cruelty of his dominion. He's Be'lakor, and he's back and bigger than ever. So, when we got the initial kind of video of this, it was, I think, Stormcast kind of like shooting back up into the sky. And people were saying, like, the previous rules for Be'lakor weren't that impressive. And the team wrote back and were like, well, over the time that he's not really been here, we imagine that he's had some time to kind of grow into the Demon Prince that he always wanted to be. So I'm imagining that he's going to have a very much expanded rule set. And as we're about to kind of read as we progress with the article, that he seems to be a kind of direct challenger to, I guess, his nemesis really, Archaon. So that'll be so cool. I really like the kind of way that the game's writers are writing the lore and the narrative. That, so that the same characters aren't always winning. And there's definitely a kind of twist and a turn. So let's kind of crack on with this. It says Be'lakor is getting an incredible new miniature to truly rival the absolute power of Archaon the Everchosen, because it was Be'lakor who was the first to enjoy the favour of all four dark gods, but unfortunately was denied this due to his own hubris. And we don't really know what he did to change the favour into wrath. But basically it says that the Demon Prince has spent all of his eternal existence trying to reclaim his former preeminence. Time is meaningless to such an ancient creature such as Be'lakor, and he's more than willing to play the super long game to see his glory restored. And we're about to find out what his next play is in the Broken Realms saga. So he's going to get the third book, which I didn't predict once again. I'll be honest, I don't know if anyone predicted that one. Definitely a kind of left turn, but definitely a welcome one. So we'll get to see how Be'lakor kind of continues with his play and see what happens, how he's going to challenge Archaon. And I guess that's going to kind of follow on from the Wrath of the Everchosen, the book that was kind of brought out, the narrative one. And it kind of makes me think back to the first book, because there was kind of loads of consideration about whether the kind of character that saves Van Brecht was Malarian, because it said like a shadowy figure, bat wings, red eyes, sharp teeth, and it turns out that it was likely to be Be'lakor. So it will be interesting to see kind of more of the reasoning behind that. I did think it was Malarian, again, the kind of shadow aspect. And there was a recent bit of Broken Realms fiction, I think it was called like Deals in the Dark, and again, it was that kind of shadowy figure. It used the same description that it did in the Broken Realms Marathi book, trying to gain a contract through the Death Masters of Clan Eshin from the Skaven, and eventually one of the Death Masters was given the contract. It's a really cool story, so if you've not read it, I would definitely check it out. And he basically says Be'lakor in the end, the contract is to kill the unkillable, which I'm guessing is Archaon. So it says, what's he up to this time? How many different strings has he pulled behind the scenes to enact his latest plans? Well, trust us when we say that Be'lakor is behind more of the key events than you can imagine. And it goes on to say that you can use him in 40k as well, before finally going on to mention how big the model is. And there's some proof, because there's a shot here with some more of chaos, and you can see just how big that model is. I bet it's going to be a nightmare to transport with those wings, but I'm sure it's going to be great fun to paint. So I'd love to hear, do you collect chaos? Are you going to be picking up the model, or are you going to get it just as a painting project? How excited are you for book 3 of the Broken Realms narrative? I must admit, I'm a bit surprised. I thought we would see the Teclis one a lot sooner than we have done. A lot of hype's been built for it. We've seen the kind of new Luminath releases. The coin for this month is Luminath. I know Games Workshop said that there's been a delay, but I'm really hoping we will see it soon with the Broken Realms, because it's been so good and we've had to wait quite a while since the Marathi book, and I really want to kind of know what happens next, and definitely looking forward to the Be'lakor book as well. So once again, thank you for joining me. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so, and if you could drop a like and a comment below, I'd love to hear from you too. Thanks for joining me once again, and I'm sure we'll speak soon. Bye bye.